one cup, I fill you up.
What?
That's not the actual song.
Bro
No,
wrote a
I was-
jingle for porn!
I got my like Renaissance cloak on and shit. I'm chilling.
Bitch, that's a hoodie. What do you mean a Renaissance club?
He got you there. Even though nobody asked,
it's pretty
we
long.
delivered. Welcome
Yeah.
back to the podcast, everyone. My name is Nestani.
I am Jaxler.
I am DECosmic.
I am Coley.
DECosmic has a cloak on. And speaking of cloaks in the Devil May Cry Discord, it's cloaked with a story. And he's going to tell you about the story. I told you it was going to be bad. I couldn't think of anything funny. Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong, but that doesn't make you
Not
right.
wrong,
You know
but
what I mean?
it's fine.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was gonna start this off with a serious discussion about some stuff that's happened in Resident Evil Requiem speedrunning, but I feel like this is funnier because this happened like on, I don't remember when this was, Thursday. That's right. Well, I was like, this was after a bunch of the Requiem stuff happened. So this person comes into the Devil May Cry Discord and it starts asking for help on the final boss on the hardest difficulty. And it starts out pretty normal. The guy's like, this is Dante must die. I just can't beat him. It's driving me up a wall. And there's a couple of runners like giving him some points. And he just keeps repeating, yeah, I just need help. I'm stuck.
Step
Literally, I just need help. Please.
Step bro, please.
And yeah, I thought he was stuck in the washing machine.
Yeah, not to be confused with the dryer.
Yeah.
And
Same difference.
so after like the fourth message of him
Same
like
hole.
saying, I just need help, he says, I just need someone who can beat him for me. I've been at this for so
Dude, this
long
is-
now.
Come on, man. Bro's got to know
And-
what they're doing.
And so Fiery and Out with a Yang, they keep like giving him pointers, and he says, never mind, I can see I'm wasting my time.
True, you are. People have been saying
Wow.
And
that. Thank
what
you for
did he
realizing.
say? He said, I can't beat him no matter what I do. I've tried everything and used 20 lives before resetting again.
Have you tried being good?
Apparently
this has
not,
to be a
you
child.
know.
Like, this has to be a child that needs
So
like
their
a big
name-
bro or big sis to beat the game for them.
Their name on Discord is Desmond Miles 2007. So I have to assume that they were born in 2007.
19 years old. That's not.
Jesus
Yeah, like 19
Christ.
years old. And what else did he say? Right. He said, I just wanted someone who would beat him for me, but it's fine. Don't worry.
What was he
And
hoping?
so,
Yeah.
and so runners, like there's like three runners. There's Spend Speed Runs, Yang, and Fiery that just like keep giving him tips. They're like, hey, we know you can do this. Like, here's how you get some
Authentically
items
trying
to make you
help Brick
invincible.
Wall.
Yeah. Because honestly, on the Dante Must Die difficulty, there are 3 untouchables that you can get throughout the game, and if you use those 3 untouchables, you are invincible for the duration of the fight, and you can just jump into the lava and hack away at him, like for the entirety of it. So that's like the easiest way to actually cheese the fight if you just want to beat the difficulty, but it takes basically the whole game to prep for it.
Yeah, which would obviously, be too much effort for this guy.
Exactly. Yeah. Even though he already got to the final boss once, I guess that's too much to ask for him to play the game again. And well, he said, I've been stuck for 2 weeks and thought someone might
weeks?
kindly beat him for me. I literally stressed and tired going
does that
over the
even
same
mean?
shit over and
How
over
are we going to
again.
beat it for you, big dog?
Yeah, like,
we're
yeah,
not
like,
gonna
are you
say
asking
in the
us
room.
I don't know.
Are you
Can you
fucking
come over
log
on
into
the
his
parsec?
Steam
I'll make
credentials.
some
That's
pizza
what I have to
rolls,
think.
like-
Because we never even got to the logistics of somebody like how they're going to beat it for him.
Like, are we going to fly out to you? Are you flying out to us? Like,
I'm
do we have to
assuming it's
pay?
just
Is this
like
like a
he'll give you
fast
his
53
Steam
kind of
credentials.
thing? Like,
I have to think that he's just
Steam
giving
credentials
you.
is crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so what he says, after I've joked a couple of times about like, you know, I know Fiery's kind of broke right now, so you should probably offer to pay him, you know. And I was like, at least like a cool Benjamin, you know. And he like straight up ignores my messages until he's like at the point of saying 4 or 5 times, no, I'm done. I can't do this. Bye. He said bye like 4 or 5 times at this point. And
4 or
he's like,
5.
I took a break and came back and still nothing. Just forget it. I'll look elsewhere. Was literally going to even pay. And I said, you didn't offer the payment up front, so that makes me think you weren't.
Yeah.
And so
I
he
think you're broke,
responds
actually.
with,
Prove me
hold
wrong.
on,
Pay me.
I actually screenshotted this. It was like one of the funniest angry messages
boy.
I've received recently. It's not even
no.
clever or
Oh,
anything.
no, he's going to make me post
It's
this
just-
on the video. I'm gonna
It's
have to
just
edit it.
funny.
This sucks.
So
Well, this might
Yeah.
just be the thumbnail if we're lucky. Hold on, I gotta see this shit.
it's just funny. Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's this
funny.
one. DECosmic. Okay, number 1, don't call me a fucking liar, okay?
Whoa.
2, I will literally send money right now. 3, what's your problem?
This is the thumbnail. This is 100% the
Dude,
thumbnail.
wait, this is actually, dude, they gotta be trolling. Like, they made a numbered list and did it differently every time.
It's great, dude.
Number
yeah,
one.
like literally,
Oh my God.
number 1 is
There's no punctuation.
It's
Audio
great.
listeners, the Assassin's Creed profile picture
Yeah,
in the
that's also
lowest
very
fucking
funny.
quality possible.
Oh, yeah,
just
that's
wraps this
absolutely-
all together. Oh
Yeah,
no.
it's so good. And I just
Oh,
said,
Desmond
1,
from
you are a
Assassin's
liar.
Creed. Ah.
Yeah, Desmond from Assassin's Creed. I said, 1, you are a liar. 2, too late, Chief. I'm kicking you after point 3. And 3, you are my problem. Goodbye. So I just banned him after that.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
the best part, honestly, is not even this. It's Fiery immediately after saying, no, Cosmic, my money, wait.
Give me my money, motherfucker. What the
Wow.
hell?
And it was,
you know
it was
how
the
we-
weirdest thing. It was just so strange. dude.
Yeah.
Like, oh my goodness. What else did he say in here? Oh, yeah.
that-
Okay. I just wish someone would do this one mission for me. And it was just like,
Why are you
my
so
God,
desperate?
feel
Like, oh
Bro's
my
like
God.
got the Puss in Boots eyes. Like, they're just
I feel like the weirdest
Yeah.
stories in the speedrunning community happen when someone not from the speedrunning community shows up. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that always
True, we
or
should
like
gatekeep. Fuck you niggas outside of the speedrun scene, all right, motherfucker?
Well, that's not-
Stay out.
that's not how I would put it, but you know,
That's what Jack said,
But-
word for word, verbatim, right there. You heard it? He said the
Wow.
N-word and everything. It
True.
was crazy.
end
right.
quote.
End quote. Yeah.
This
End
oh,
quote.
God,
We're actually gonna make the thumbnail just that quote, and it's just gonna be
That-
Jaxler's
yes.
face next to it.
There's Fiery saying, wait, Cosmic, my money.
That's good.
And I said, I'm sorry, Fiery, but once he decided to come at my neck, he was a goner. I'm not taking shit from someone that was born a year before Devil May Cry 4 released.
Wow.
Well,
Jesus
you kind of got him there. You
Christ.
kind of
Like,
cooked his ass.
it's just like, but honestly, like, it's not even an
This
owner
guy's
or
old
anything,
enough to
'cause this is like a child,
Unfortunately.
right? But like, the fucking the part of that message that killed me was 3. What's your problem? It just was so fucking. I think
and
it's
the
because
inconsistent formatting.
it's
The
it's been
inconsistent
so
formatting.
long since I've heard the question, "What's your problem?" that like I immediately knew it was like a child because or somebody quite close to childhood because it's like when was the last time you heard "What's your problem?"
What's your problem?
Right, like that is
dude?
such a
I feel like I say that
high
a
school
lot,
or middle school.
but like,
like-
not serious though. Post
Yeah, because like a serious
Yeah,
Is that how
yeah,
you
the-
use that
the serious
phrase?
way of saying it.
pretty much.
Yeah,
I'm
basically.
spitting. Let's go.
'Cause, like,
I know words.
Because right, like in the workplace, you'll
3 of
hear
them.
like, "Do we have a problem?" or "Is there a problem here?" That sort of thing. But you
What's
never
your
hear like, "What's your
problem?"
problem, dude?"
Like, oh my
Yeah,
God,
like, what's your
what's
problem,
your
dude?
problem?
Yeah.
You fuck.
That sort of thing. Yeah.
Oh
I also
my
said he was a
God.
bot born in 2007 because people suspected him of being a bot.
That's
So,
incredible.
but
I
it was
just-
so it was just
The
so strange,
inconsistent
bro.
formatting too, like the number
is
one
incredible.
written out number,
Yeah,
and then
periods.
That
two
number.
That's gotta
periods,
be a
double
troll.
No
space.
Like, come on.
punctuation.
Single spaced three
What's
no
your problem?
punctuation.
He got the
What's your
apostrophe
problem?
though. I'm proud of him.
Yeah, you know.
Oh yeah, he was
attempted.
spitting honestly.
Dude, I don't
did.
know why, but this reminded not to
Bro
pull a
was mad chatting
redacted
for
and make
real.
this about me. Not to pull a redacted and make this about me all of a sudden, but this reminded me of a story from college actually. So when I was in school, this is speedrunning related, which is why I was reminded of it. We had like a speedrun club that we'd meet at like once a week, like on campus, right?
Speedrun Sundays.
And so think it was Saturday. But in spirit, yes.
Damn.
Alliteration's still there.
Speedrun Saturdays is close enough.
Yeah.
I mean,
But it's not the legendary speedrun Sundays.
That's
yeah.
right.
So we're having our normal like club meeting this weekend, right? And there's this kind of like expo thing going on at the school where I think it was called like Imagine or something, where all like the engineering and comp sci students are like showing off crazy shit that they're making to like promote the school, promote themselves, try to get hired type shit, right? And so because of that, there's a lot more people walking around campus going to see all these things as a result, but we still have our room, right? So every now and again, we have we just usually keep the door open so it doesn't become like a sweat factory, right? So every now and again,
Makes
people
sense.
like just pop their head in to see what we're up to. They'll maybe make a comment or something like that. But then this like group of 3 people, it's like 2 guys and a girl, I think, like walk in and they're like asking what this is and what we're doing. And then I shit you not, out of nowhere, the girl is just like, any of y'all single? And I'm like, yeah, excuse me?
What?
And literally that, like, I want
my
to say
God.
about 2 seconds later, I'm like, no.
No.
And it's just, or
Christ,
no, it
man.
wasn't. She didn't even go straight to that. And, like, I think she was like something like, "Oh, what are y'all doing late?" Like in that like kind of,
Go
"Oh,
to
what are you doing later?"
Popeyes or something.
Yeah, no, it was the most.
He beat me to it, man.
But I
We've
wasn't
come
even
full
like,
circle.
I wasn't even looking at her. I don't think anyone was, and I don't even know if she was looking at anyone in particular either. Like, I
was looking at me.
genuinely don't know what. Genuinely don't know what. Like what the intentions were, because there were not many of us in the room. There was my friend Kamaru, who is a married man. There was me,
Damn,
chronic
college?
asexual. Yeah.
Started
Well, no, he wasn't in college.
Oh,
he
he's
just
old as
lived in
fuck.
Rochester. Yeah, he's old as fuck. He plays Super Metroid. If that gives you any context.
That tracks, yeah.
Shout out Kamaru, I love you, but also you're old. Anyway, so it's like
Times 2.
the 2 of us, and then like I think 1 or 2 other people who are like not to play in like I think are like in a relationship and very queer. So it's like the entire vibes of the room are just like we're just vibing, we're just chilling, just kind of hanging out, being friends, and the 2 guys who are kind of there along the way are like
Hey man, she was
mostly
just trying to get some
respectful.
pipe. Like let her, you know what I mean?
That's
Like,
and I'm just
let her
like.
go.
You're telling
on.
me that she went to the dispensary looking for the soup kitchen, is what you're saying.
What does that mean? No, I'm not. What does that mean?
Oh, I understand what you're saying.
What does that mean?
But like,
Yeah.
I don't. I don't know what that means.
he's
I'll
doing the
leave it up
equivalent
to
of
you.
why are you buying clothes at the soup store? Like, why are you?
Yeah,
well,
that type of thing.
Why are
Yeah.
you looking for water in a desert? Type shit.
Well, if anything, given the demographic, I feel like she has a high percentage of hitting on that. I'm calling gamers losers, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good
That's not true.
pitch.
So you're saying she just kind of she swung wide on the green? Is that what you're like the driving range? And she just like
She's just putting
went
out
out-
feelers,
That
man. I
ball
don't
was
know.
going like 10 miles an hour. She's
but
like,
the
surely
weirdest-
I'm not
the-
going to whiff this with her baseball bat. And then she did whiff it, but you know what I mean? And like the baseball's like 3 times larger.
Yeah.
Like she has a really good
my
shot
gosh.
of hitting this ball. She just still missed, unfortunately.
Yeah, but she was gonna break a fucking window. Like, stop. We're in a classroom.
Do your basketball.
Basketball is my favorite
and
sport.
the weird-
I like it with the dribble up and down the court.
Oh my god. To me, the weirdest thing about this whole interaction too is like she almost said it in a way like she was disinterested or like not like it was such a weird tone of voice that I can't even describe. And it was just so like uncomfortable. I was like,
Well, that's not cool. I do have to
Yeah.
say that I do kind of respect when people are kind of upfront like that because I would never do that.
That's true.
I would
just be
never.
like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to fuck.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
have I
true.
got- have
no,
I-
I do respect that. Yeah.
Have I told you
Facts.
guys the Josh Hutcherson story of mine or no?
What?
You know
Is
what I'm
that the
talking
guy from the
I don't think so.
like
Yeah,
Hunger
Hunger
Games,
Games?
FNAF movie.
Hunger
and stuff.
Games, PETA. I remember.
Yeah.
him. Okay.
Yeah.
Have
What
I
about
told
him?
you that
Pita
story
bread.
or no?
Yeah. No, I
Yo,
don't think
Peter,
so.
I don't beat my dog.
right.
Don't arrest me.
So I don't remember if it was the year I graduated or the year after college when I visited, but I went to this party and they had this thing where they had like a pad of paper or whatever, and you would like draw something on it, and then you would pass it to another person. No, and then you pass it to another person, and they guess it, and then they draw something. And it was given to me, and at the time, you know the meme of him where his hands are behind his back, and it goes like doo 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 or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? Like the I don't even know if you heard that.
Yeah, I guess so. He's like relaxed or whatever.
Yeah, or whatever. So I drew that. I really just traced it. And then I went into like, it was in like somebody's house, and I went into like the kitchen, and I was like, here's what I drew. Here's my social obligation for free beer. And then they looked at it, and there was this girl who was like, oh my gosh, that's Josh Hutcherson. That's so hot. You're so hot. What's your Instagram?
Oh, I remember.
And I just went,
You told this story.
okay, I did. Yeah.
No,
Damn, I don't.
It's like the same
this.
thing where it's like, this is
give
weird.
it to her?
I don't think you told her.
Sorry, did you give her the? Did you, I know you didn't give it to her, but did you give her your Instagram?
No.
Did you give her my Instagram?
No.
Shit, like what the hell?
I don't think
What
I
the
did.
fuck, man?
No. I don't think I knew it.
What's your problem?
To be honest. Don't call me a fucking liar, okay?
Gaslighter. Yeah, number one.
Number one.
But okay, sorry that I
You
repeated
traced
that
an
story.
image and almost got
I mean, I
pussy
think you
for
told it
it,
on the
and you
podcast,
turned that
but,
shit down.
You know.
No, I don't think he did.
Yeah,
okay.
no, that's right.
I just remember you telling me just randomly.
I was
Yeah.
also there for when you said that, and
Yeah, that was an interesting.
I don't
night,
remember
yeah.
this.
That was a crazy night.
So remind me then, why did you not give her your
I
contact
think she was stun
information?
locked.
I was
just
actually I was stun
uncomfortable.
locked. I had my shield up and she broke it. I got dizzy. That kind of thing.
That was fire. I gotta give you that one.
You gotta give it
No,
up. Give it up.
No, but it was like, admittedly, like she looked like I don't know. I wasn't attracted to her, and she was
True.
well, but also,
Right.
no, what?
That bitch was busting.
Why is that? But also, it was like, listen, man. I had no idea who she is. I'd never seen her before, and like she was clearly very intoxicated. So I was like,
That's
Yeah,
also,
that'll do it too.
Okay,
Yeah,
that
that's
is a
pretty-
great
that's pretty,
detail to
yeah.
add to this equation.
Yes.
This makes me look like a
Wow.
much better person.
Coley protects women.
Yep.
that's right.
Yep.
I turned around and I never saw her again.
What I have to appreciate
I mean, that
about
would have
so
been the
many
outcome either way, but like, yeah, you know.
what I have to appreciate about so many of Cole's stories is that like he will always, no matter how far he's dug himself, he just like pulls out the piece of context that he should have started with, and it's just like, never mind, actually, everything's okay.
I said, well, okay, all right, fair enough.
You know,
But
Oh my
Yeah.
god. I don't know what it is. It's just like people. I don't want to say normal people scare me, but like people outside of like that GDQ space, like kind of frighten me a little bit. Like I feel so out of place. Like if I walk out that door, I feel like a fucking alien. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. So
I
like
can kind of understand that.
it's shit that's happened to me like that, or hearing that story where I'm just like, this whole fucking humanity thing might have been a fucking mistake, bro. I don't know, man. Like, what the fuck were we thinking?
Where are we?
Like,
See,
we
Yeah,
should
we're
have
just a
turned off
rock
the
floating
internet
in
after that
space.
whole 2 girls 1 cup thing. We should have been like, all right, that's enough.
do we really need?
You know
Man,
what?
do we really gotta bring that up on the podcast?
True.
Oh,
I think he's kind of spitting
never-
here.
2 girls, 1 cup.
Yeah.
I feel you up.
What
That's
do
not
you-
the actual song.
bro
No,
wrote a
I was-
jingle for porn. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
What is that?
I'm sorry.
just-
No, there's a song. No, there's a song that
That's
I
gonna
used
go
to-
on
we
Blue
used
Sky
to-
for sure.
Facts.
But I'm gonna cut everything. It's just gonna be him yelling
This
porn.
bro wrote a jingle for porn and wonders why he doesn't get bitches.
No, it needs to start
Fuck,
with
man.
the 2 girls 1 cup. I fill you up, and then it just cuts to Jax yelling porn.
I can do that for you. Yeah, I got you. Wait, that
Bro,
should go on my
I feel it-
soundboard. That's good.
I saw you in the corner of
Gold
my
split.
Ajax, and you Dennis looked like the split sound. Oh
Gold
my
split
god!
is crazy.
You wrote the jingle for Paul. Your face, Jax, though, because I only saw it out of the corner of my eye. It's like that one emote where it's like the "Let's go" and it's like,
let's fucking go.
Yeah, it was, but it's Red Solo Cup. You never heard that song? It's a great song, man. It's so fun to play that.
No, I don't drink, so I don't know that song.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. It's such a goofy song.
Is that how you talk to women? You refer to them as red solo cups and then you fill them up? Because that runs contrary to the stories we've heard, my good sir.
You know, that reminds me of another. Nah.
Yikers.
Y'all, let us know in the comments if you want Cole to fill you.
Hey, whoa! Please, I would rather you not.
Cosmic, save us. Resident Evil.
So yeah, there's been a lot of developments in.
We're so scared.
I am scared.
New Game Plus.
There's been a lot of.
That's what you get for bringing up Poe on the podcast. Okay.
There's been a lot of developments in Resident Evil Requiem speedrunning. So I'll get a couple of things out of the way because people probably will want to hear the reactionary stuff before I get into something that requires nuance, which is the no intro category and the orphanage skip mod. So no intro categories in Resident Evil games are pretty like common nowadays, and it got like implemented really fast. And now they're allowing a mod to skip the orphanage section, which is like an 7.5 to 8 minute cutscene, basically interactive cutscene. So you get like 15 minutes of the run chopped off by running this no intro category, which to me, like, that's pretty sick, right? Because I said before in the Discord, like, as much as I philosophically disagree with cutting out portions of a game arbitrarily from the run, also if somebody said to me, "Oh, I've made a mod for Vanquish that cuts out the 8.5 minute auto scroller," I would be like, I would like this as a category, even though the 8.5 minute auto scroller in Vanquish actually affects routing, unlike the orphanage in RE Requiem.
Yeah, the orphanage is just like a self-contained.
Yeah, the orphanage is self-contained.
It's just a bunch of children running around. It's kind of lame.
It's true. Yeah, it's pretty dumb. So,
the less orphans, the better.
It's true.
No,
we're talking about the game, right?
Adopt children down below, guys. Just be sure to go out today and adopt a child, save a life.
Go out, go out and get one. Yep.
What is it?
That's totally not irresponsible of us to tell our audience to go.
To adopt children, pretty true.
Well, also here's the thing, though. Like, who has the money right now to adopt a child? It's probably like, I guess that's part of the irony, right? So maybe we're fine. I don't know.
With 5 easy payments, you can adopt a child.
But like,
that sounded worse than what I.
The Gerber Life Grow Up Plan.
It's easy. Yeah, it's easy to set up. Oh my god, I used to hear that.
It's cotton picking fun.
Anyway, sorry.
True. No, you're good. So the other side of this coin, right, is that like if somebody says to me like, "Oh, I really love the RE Requiem speedrun," but they only talk about the no intro category, I'd be like, "Do you really? Do you really think it's that good of a run if you don't want to run the whole game?" Like, there's a philosophical nuance there. But anyway, so the other thing, continuing with like restrictions that are being put on the game, there's like an ADS glitch that if you spam in third person, if you spam the like left or right or any movement key plus aiming, it will like cause you to boost further. And it's not like a trick that's terribly hard to do, but you would have to do it like the entire run. And they were like, this would probably cause people like RSI if they had to do this for like 2 hours for an entire run. At the time, it was like 2 hours. Now it's probably like an hour and 40.
Repetitive stress injury.
Yeah, repetitive stress injury.
Tendinitis. Things like
and one of the mods even noted that in my chat, he said like this is also seems hardware dependent, like the amount of boosting that you could get on better hardware. I don't really have any reason to believe that he was making that up. So I'm going to just go with it's hardware dependent on also an RSI thing, even though it would actually cause third person mode to probably be the better way to run. But that's not even like really I don't really think that's anything worth getting bent out of shape about. Because you can still just do that in runs like that are not on the leaderboard. Nothing is really stopping you from doing that. Now the real thing that people were kind of in a tizzy about was the weapon swap glitch. Now, I will say this glitch I think is actually really cool. Because so the first way that it was found was by Distortion 2, actually.
Of course, Dist found it. Of course he did.
Yeah, so, or at least as far as I know, he was the first clip that I saw of it. Whether or not he actually found it, I don't know for 100%. So if somebody else found it, then my bad. But Dist was the first one that I heard of that had explained it and had a clip of it and all that stuff. So basically, so let's say you have your Magnum in weapon slot 1 and you have your pistol in weapon slot 2. You go over to a box, like the item box, you put the Requiem in there, the Magnum, and then you put the pistol in there. You put the Requiem in slot 2 and then the pistol in slot 1. Now your Magnum uses handgun bullets.
Interesting.
And the handgun bullets, as you might guess, are much more common than
How
the
is this
Magnum
controversy?
bullets.
This just sounds cool and good.
So basically what this does is it turns the whole game into a New Game Plus style scenario. Because the evolution of it actually showed that you don't even have to be at an item box to do it. So when you open your inventory screen in Requiem, you can move items out of the inventory onto like a discard pile. And so you could put your Magnum into the discard pile, put the handgun in the discard pile, move them, and then get that weapon swap glitch. So you could do it the entire game.
Oh.
And good. So now there's no more routing involved for Magnum bullets. No more routing for like any resources or anything.
Because like not much is going on in those games.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. See, so the thing too, right, is that if this only
got some
was
mad chatters coming in. They just went.
If this was only even, I think that even if this was only limited to Grace, it might have actually gotten a pass, right? But then people found ways to do it with Leon, and the real problem there is that Leon picks up machine gun ammo, and machine gun ammo comes in packs of 50, as opposed to like packs of 15 for the handgun.
That's actually crazy.
So
unlimited.
So you
ammo
swap
mod,
out the.
Let's go.
So yeah, you swap out the Magnum for the. You have the Magnum act as the machine gun, and now you just go. You have all of a sudden 100 bullets, and the thing too is that. Not only does the weapon take on that weapon's like ammo count, but it also takes on its magazine count.
What?
So you don't even have to reload. You just 50
this is like
straight.
John Wick Prime now.
Exactly,
what the hell?
Yeah,
this is great.
That's crazy.
That just sounds lit.
Holy.
That sounds awesome.
So this is the thing is that like it is kind of lit, but also it removes like some of the skill floor because it does not require. It requires less routing, and it's not a hard glitch to do either. And like it effectively just removes so much, like it just removes a lot of like the appeal of the run and a lot of the appeal of like a fresh file run, you know, because you don't got to worry about ammo no more.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't even have to upgrade. Like you would probably only upgrade like the hatchet twice and then the Requiem a couple of times. And then you would just fucking decimate everything.
That sounds lit.
So now I mean, again, it's lit, but also I get why people were upset about it because it does.
Make my
and then
own
like
Resident Evil Requiem just fucking sucks. I want to draw my own route.
But
go. Like,
but it does. It does turn a lot of the game from a New Game Plus or from a new game into a New Game Plus with like extra steps, basically. And I think. Also, if the game had like some cool glitches to do alongside this,
well, it's a Resident Evil game, so
there are some cool glitches in those, like RE4 and RE4 remake.
RE7 has
RE7 has some pretty sick stuff. RE8 even to some extent has a couple of cool little skips that you can do. But RE Requiem not so far. Now, like, because people think like, oh. Anything that turns like New Game into New Game Plus is like bad, and like that's kind of the argument that a lot of people were using, right? But I would say, and I thought about, I would think, I mean, yeah, they want to do fast Let's Plays. A lot of people do, and it's just like they got to come to terms. They got to be intellectually honest with themselves. They want to do a fast Let's Play, you know. But I thought about making a video about this, and I might still, but my counterpoint basically was that, like, there's a game called Castlevania Lament of Innocence. Now, Castlevania Lament of Innocence is a speedrun, exceptionally cool. And it is actually a scenario where new game gets turned into new game plus. And it's from one item and one bug or one glitch. So in that game, there are items or gems that you can crush with a item called the Gem Crusher Gauntlet or whatever. And there's the diamond, ruby, sapphire, and turquoise. The diamond grants you a full HP, MP, and heart restoration. The ruby deals AoE damage to everything in the room. The sapphire deals slightly less damage than the or like half the damage of the ruby to everything within view, and it will restore HP for every hit. And then the turquoise, this is the interesting part. It will randomly change your sub-weapon to something that's not your current sub-weapon. And the sub-weapons have a lot of different uses. There are optimal sub-weapons to use for movement and also on every boss. Now, you might think, okay, so you use this thing for like certain things and you just kind of, there's probably limited gems to work with in the game. Not because of one bug. So there was a debug glitch that got left in the retail version of the game where if you stand on like a blue part of a carpet, you can duplicate any item in your inventory by moving up and down in the inventory. But you can only have up to 9 of a kind for most of them. This is the same with the gems. So a lot of the routing for that game is duplicating these gems and getting like, you know, a good, like an optimal sub weapon for movement. Then you go to the boss room, you roll RNG on the sapphire on the turquoise for the sub weapon that you might want. And a lot of the skill expression in that run now comes from, do you know the backup strats? And you don't, because like you don't want to roll 7 or 8 in a row of those turquoise. You know, that's slow. Yeah, because it's slow, and also like you don't want to chance it that you won't have any more turquoise to
reroll later.
You know, like duplicate, exactly. Yeah. And so it's like there are strategies in that game for the route where you will sacrifice some movement to get the sub weapon at like a safe location and then just go to the boss room. Or because there's an axe weapon that is basically like DMC1 Sting or just Devil May Cry's Stinger move. It's just a dash with the sword or like a dash with the axe in this case. And that is how you move through every room. And it's just like, it's exceptionally fast and it's exceptionally cool. And the route is a lot less RNG now that people figured out a lot of backup strategies. Like, okay, this only loses this amount with this sub weapon, but there's still skill expression. And it actually required you to like play a little more of the game to scale later in, like scale up. Cause like normally they wouldn't go and get the Gem Crusher. But once that glitch was found and they found ways to like route it in and make it the entire run based around that, it was sick. And now that run is like 40 something. It's like only 40 minutes or something, maybe even less now, because people are just like grinding it down so hard and optimizing it because it's a lot of fun to do. And there's a really cool glitch that you're probably not going to ever use in a casual playthrough. You know, how that game looks as a speed run is entirely separate from how it looks as a casual playthrough. Resident Evil games, maybe outside of the hardest difficulties, there's a lot less degrees of separation. So in a scenario where that game becomes a new game plus scenario, when the appeal is like a sense of progression and a sense of scaling and like having to actually manage resources, a lot of that appeal goes away. So I can understand kind of why people whose most experiences with games like Resident Evil or, you know, Resident Evil itself, they would immediately see like a cool glitch like the weapon swap glitch as like, oh, this shit's over now. This sucks, you know. But I kind of maintain that if there was something cool to do alongside that, then maybe people wouldn't have been in such an uproar about it.
Yeah. Because it's like other than that and like the movement thing that's hardware dependent, like where is the sauce?
Yeah, that's the thing that I will say is that even though I really, really like this game, I started doing like fresh file runs of the game pretty recently. And there's one boss where you run up to with a shotgun that you pick up. And you've upgraded it like 4 times at this point. You run up to this boss and you shoot him in the weak point until he's dead, and that's the entire fight. You know? Yeah. And like on New Game Insanity, I can understand those runners. Like because they're not using any of the New Game Plus stuff. They're playing on the hardest difficulty. That's clearly not balanced for the New Game Plus stuff. That glitch like would effectively remove a lot of the difficulty that they were having with those runs. And that would also it would also, again, make the difference between New Game Plus and the New Game route quite minuscule.
Yeah.
But there's not a ton, like Jack said, there's not a lot of sauce in this run outside of that, There's some cool stuff you can do, but a lot of it is like minutia. It is like you understand the game and then you go, wow, that's pretty fucking sick, actually.
I was really hoping it would like let you weapon swap so that you could have like a shitload of rocket launcher ammo, because that shit would be really fucking funny.
Yeah,
like,
that would be really funny.
Like instead of having machine gun ammo for a Magnum, you have it for a fucking rocket launcher.
I think actually in New Game Plus you would be able to do that. So like it would take on the the magazine properties of a machine gun. I think that's what would happen in New Game Plus. And basically what that would do is just like cut down the time a little longer. So you can already get infinite rockets for New Game Plus, but now you wouldn't have to reload them in theory, I think.
Sure.
I haven't actually watched any runs. I haven't actually watched any runs that use like the rocket with this weapon swap thing.
Yeah, because we gotta ban
and there's
that
also
shit. We can't have that in our game.
And honestly, probably the most interesting thing that they could do with this glitch is you can actually use it to like weapon swap with nades or something, but it actually just like destroys your weapon in the process, but you can get extra grenades with it.
Interesting.
And
that's kind of cool.
It is pretty cool, right? But if it didn't destroy your weapon, maybe if it just emptied the mag, then that'd be fine. But I think it just makes your weapon like disappear from the inventory or some bull crap like that. It's so strange. It's so strange. If you want to run a game with an infinite grenade glitch, Vanquish is your game. But because that doesn't remove weapons from your inventory. But that is my rant about the stuff that's been going on in
how
Requiem.
have these changes been kind of impacting where you've been sitting with it, if that makes sense? Like I know you kind of view it like you kind of wish there was more to it, but it was just like, have they done anything about it, I guess is my question. Have they banned it? They've
relegated it to like a different category, like an any % unrestricted type of thing.
Right.
Even though that
or
also
just
has
anything.
Restrictions. You can't do the ADS glitch in that still. The aim.
Then why call it sorry.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you can't do the
I think it's just because they didn't.
You can't install an ad blocker.
They didn't want to encourage people to like ruin their hands. Essentially, it was the same reason that like snow walking in Village was banned pretty early on.
Yeah, but like Dirge exists.
Dirge exists, dude. Soul Reaver 2 actually has the same fucking thing. So the fastest way to move in Soul Reaver 2
also that one Zelda game
is. What?
You're gonna have to narrow it down there, buddy.
The like, one Zelda game, you spam something and you go. Whoop, 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 whoop.
Oh, Wind Waker, where they like go across the water.
Yeah, but that game is bad. So like, anyway, so yeah, no, I said it. That game sucks. It's boring as fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Worst 3D Zelda game.
Continue.
Anyway, so here's my.
Oh.
Dude, I'm causing generational trauma right now with my correct opinion.
You talking about casually or speedrun?
Casually, obviously. Speedrunning is fucking hilarious. It is a very high level speed game. Like high skill ceiling speed game. Casually, horrible. Hate that fucking game.
Cole's really having
Phantom
a big
Hourglass.
thing.
Phantom Hourglass is better than Wind Waker.
Damn.
And it's not close.
Cole's soul is leaving his body, audio listeners.
Spirit Tracks. Okay, Spirit Tracks is maybe not better, but I'll call it even. No, Spirit Tracks is slightly better than Wind Waker. Never mind.
Audio listeners,
don't
Cole's
worry.
dead.
Don't worry, Cole. I'm sure Paul McCartney would have loved Wind Waker.
I love Wind Waker. It's my favorite video game. I saw a GameCube in the store.
But to continue to leave that emotional damage unaddressed, Soul Reaver 2 has kind of a similar thing where the fastest way to move around in that game is just to tap forward or like tap a direction over and over. And you don't have to like mash it, because if you actually do, you'll just do the running animation. But it's just kind of like a rhythmic tapping type of thing. And it looks funny as fuck. Because it just looks like Raziel is just like,
here we go.
like over and over again. And
I thought you were gonna get up and display it. I got excited.
well, I did kind of just display it.
Raziel,
really
what are you doing, Raziel?
Because he's kind of like mid-stride, so you can kind of do it. Oh, making fun of Wind Waker. This game fucking sucks.
Raziel, we must make fun of Wind Waker. That's what the guy sounds like, right?
Totally.
The cane guy. Yeah.
The cane guy, yeah.
Yeah, not to be used that raisin one.
And I'm gonna be real, it kind of makes me mad sometimes when like tech of this nature just kind of gets randomly just kind of gets banned out of principle immediately. Right?
Yeah.
Because like
let it develop for a
thing
second,
too,
like god damn, and then make a decision.
Yeah.
Like I don't know.
I think that it might have been a thing that was a carryover from before the remaster, but even then for me, so the fastest way without that to move around is just to jump everywhere. But for whatever reason, like that also makes my hand sore after a while because you have to like time it pretty precisely to lose as minimal speed as possible jumping. Because then you get like stuck in a little.
You should push for like a 5-minute break during the speed run
for what? For a 13.5-minute speed run? No.
Yeah, you know.
Man.
I'm chilling.
I want to do it in all
Did
reavers.
you take a break?
Which is like.
Did
you take a break? Shout out to all reavers, by the way. That's been fucking great. They keep fucking finding. Sorry. Nope. Staying on topic. What I'm trying to say is, I wish people like again like Cosmic set or was it Cosmic or Nestani? I don't remember. Just let things breathe a little bit. Yeah, we can let.
I did say that actually. You are talking about.
Yeah, you did.
Nice. I blindly took credit and I was correct.
Just like let it breathe a little bit, you know, and just like not arbitrary. Like, I feel like it tends to be a bit more of an annoying thing to deal with in larger speedrunning communities where it's like this might be someone's only speedrun or first speedrun. Yeah. And whenever you have people like that, it's just like they don't have the broader context of speedrunning or touching grass or things of that nature. And I can't help but guess or speculate that isn't a little bit of what's happening with Requiem to some extent.
Yeah, what I will say is that like I think that what people got to understand about games like Requiem and a lot of other like modern speedruns that have tons and tons of people like doing them is that the moderators, it's like a damned if they do, damned if they don't type of deal. But also Maxi explained that for like RE2 Remake, for example, there is an out of bounds in that game where you can like skip a bunch, like a huge portion of the game, and on the second, like on the B scenarios in that game, it actually cuts the game in half.
Ooh,
nice. But like you just kind of do it, and then you walk, and then it's done, and that's like the end of it, right?
Sure.
And in his experience, people just don't run those types of categories for like these categories that are built around like one glitch. People in Resident Evil speedrunning just don't do them.
Well, it's because they like to let's play.
Stupid. Yeah, because they're stupid.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, like
people who play popular games are stupid.
Resident Evil 2 Remake, as Maxie said on the last episode, is approaching its like 10,000.
Wait, I won't take that. I play Fire Emblem and I'm not stupid.
And in the any percent category for Leon. In the any percent category for Leon, like the actual any percent category, there's only 20 runs.
That's
like people just don't run those categories. So what people kind of have to understand is that the moderators are crafting a leaderboard that like people are going to want to compete in like against a bunch of people with. You know, like they are crafting a competitive environment. The idea basically is that you're building like essentially a sport, right? At this point, because again, I say this a bunch, these Resident Evil games create Twitch partners and they create careers. So if people don't want to stick around, then, you know, they won't. So
yeah, so there's probably a monetary incentive to run the categories that are the
a lot of care is given to what moderators think that more people are going to run, as opposed to what is fastest. like the mass appeal of a category matters much more for a very popular game. I'd even give like Super Mario 64 an example of like the category that appears the most on the board. Like first on the board is 120 star. And you don't see that a ton on a lot of leaderboards where the 100% category appears first.
Even though 16
Cole,
is the most
what
popular
is your question?
of that.
Yeah.
But like the most coveted run is 120.
Yeah, the most coveted runs 120.
Well, is that the thing where it's like, so are a lot of speedruns like, or the best, how do I word this? Not the most popular speedrun, because that's not true, but like, I feel like what most, like the most well-regarded speedruns rather, not necessarily popular, I feel like I've noticed that it's like a mixture of like what the game usually casually is and going fast, because it's like if you lean too far in one direction or the other, it's just like, okay, you're either doing glitchless, which is super boring, or you're doing like this ace shit, which is also boring. Like I feel like that I always see that in like speed games that are like very well revered, where it's like it can be a mixture of both things.
Yeah, I think that that's pretty accurate because like to draw from the same series, Resident Evil 4 OG, a very good mixture of doing out of bounds glitches, doing glitches in general, like the Ditman glitch that speeds up Leon's animations by 50%, actually enabling more out of bounds glitches and enabling him to move through. It actually makes movement better and allows you to run through rooms in a way you wouldn't be able to normally. It also changes boss cycles entirely. There is actually like a knife cycle for Ditman, like that you can do on Krauser, and it actually makes that like harder to that fight to do harder, but it makes it faster at the same time because your knife is faster. So like stun looping him with the knife is harder, but also it's faster. So it increases the skill ceiling and also probably increases the skill floor for that fight. But there's a huge mixture of that as well as actually just playing the game and like doing things well in the context of what the game has intended for you to do.
I feel like this kind of supports the
true.
Yeah, like I feel like this sort of supports the idea that I think it was Cosmic who was bringing it up, where like speedrunning is about the novelty of it and not like just optimizing it and lowering it down to the fastest possible time you can beat a game kind of thing.
I don't know if novelty is the word that I use, but it was learning, like the learning and discovery of it.
Okay.
Is like the big thing.
My bad for misquoting, but
no, you're fine.
Yeah,
Corey spreads misinformation live on a podcast.
And I mean, like to use another like example is I think that
Transformers
probably
War of Cybertron.
Maybe almost definitely the best Devil May Cry run is 4 because it is insanely high execution for both characters in the main category. And it also has like some of the coolest skips that exploit, like they repurpose combat tools for movement to get around level geometry. And there's even like a glitch or an exploit with the way that Nero, like if you stand in a certain spot at 120 FPS with Nero and grapple onto a ledge, you end up out of bounds. And then you can jump out and go to the bottom of a level. And then that skips like 2 entire rooms. And it reduces the RNG in that mission by a lot. It affects routing because now you have less red orbs and you're going to get less proud souls as a result. But it also increases some of the execution of the game because you still have to do a hard glitch to do it. So, and then like the skip for Dante on mission 16 involves weapon swapping like 3 or 4 times, style switching like 3 times, using like every height gain tool that he has at that point in the game, basically. It also affects routing again because like you have to get no damages so that, because otherwise you have to refund skills in order to afford the abilities to use on that skip. And it also saves you like 2 minutes and it looks cool as fuck. Like every skip in that game looks and feels cool as fuck to do. Yeah. And at the same time, when you go and fight the bosses, those are still hard. The game is still mechanically satisfying to play on that level. And it's like, you know, compare this like to, I love the Devil May Cry 5 run, but a lot of those skips are V clipping out with his cat and then V walking to the end of the level. Meow. You know, the mission 9 skip, I think probably looks the coolest. Maybe mission 13 skip, But like mission 5 and mission 7 are like you walking to the end of the level, basically. There's like maybe 1 or 2 hard jumps on each of these things, but it is considerably less flashy. Although it is like the dynamic that V brings to the run. So it's still kind of not stale because that's not the whole run.
Devil May 5 Cry sucks.
Devil May 5.
But then like you compare this to, what is it? I mean, I'll even give like an example that's a little closer to each other. So like the first Gungrave, there's like 2 tricks in that game that are actually hard, and they probably only save like collectively like 20 seconds or something. But that run, like compared to Gungrave Gore, because of its length and because of like how much snappier the game feels, and because there's actually like a couple of hard tricks to do, is immediately more engaging than Gungrave Gore, which is holding forward and holding the shoot button for basically the whole level.
Sure, yeah.
You know, because the game, like, there's like the way that you move around in that game in the first Gungrave matters infinitely more than in Gungrave Gore. So even though there is like very much less degrees of separation between those 2 games, the fact that there is something to latch onto in the first Gungrave means that immediately it is just a better run.
I guess the point you're trying to make is it's just like, what is this new thing like add that changes the dynamic of the thing? And it's like, in Requiem's case, it doesn't like, it does change the dynamic, but it doesn't.
It does
really,
change the dynamic, yeah.
But it doesn't.
Removes a lot of things, you know.
It removes things without substituting something different.
Correct, yeah. Like I said before, if it was just like, I think in the purest, like, in the ideal scenario, it would only work if you were at the item box and if you were Grace, you know, because then people would route ways to go to the item box more and then save time later that way.
Right,
And it would probably just make her sections more consistent.
But because of the ubiquity of it is where...
Yeah, because of the fact that, like, you can just be anywhere on the map and just swap it out. And it's like, all right, we're good to go now. And the fact, again...
my English.
Yep.
I dropped ubiquity and it was like...
Right?
I was about to make the shittiest joke ever, like the router company, but I no one was going to get that, so...
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would have worked because then I'd have been like... Because we're talking about routing, and you said the router.
Ooh, true.
The router company.
Maybe I should have went for it, you know? Shouts to Ubiquity.
You should have just taken the shot, bro.
This episode brought to you by Ubiquity.
Ubiquity.
That would be hype if it was. That would be dope.
I'd be proud of sick, yeah. I'd be like, finally we make money.
That would be sick, yeah.
But yeah, like the fact that it is just everywhere in the game. It's like with Leon anywhere, and it's with Grace anywhere. There's nothing that gets added to the game from it other than like you just kind of get to mow anything down if you need to, or if you just feel like you want to.
Yeah.
And it decreases like the skill floor as well as decreasing the skill ceiling. Because even if the skill ceiling stayed the same, if it raised the skill floor, that's at least something, right? It does still make the game harder. And it makes the run more engaging because there is more to latch onto in that case. So,
but it's just like a nothing burger execution type of thing. Okay.
Yeah, like you literally you just open it, move back, and then now you're good to go.
It's just menuing.
Yeah, it's just menuing. And menuing is a skill, right? But it's like, if I can just pull out the Magnum and it's like, all right, the ultimate life form, die ultimate life form.
Whoa, hey, don't shoot Shadow the Hedgehog. Chill out. I like Shadow.
My
He's
bad.
cool.
I'm going into cardiac arrest.
I will say that they at least are allowing the hunk instant kill, or like the instant kill on one of the bosses, because it's an exploit using like the stealth mechanics or something in the game.
Is there a mod where it adds like the fa sound effect when you do it, or no?
What, the insta-kill or the glitch?
Or the hunk.
The insta-kill. Like the hunk. Yeah, that's what I'm talking
that
about.
Would be a great
That'd be
mod.
funny. That would be funny because the funniest thing too is that the end of that fight is Leon like ripping his hatchet out of the guy's neck to kill him. And it would just be like that, yeah.
That would be awesome.
It'd be like Leon turning around and being like, "Fuck," you know, or whatever.
that would be sick.
That would be incredible, honestly.
Yeah. We should mod the game and add that.
No, I think so. Yeah, I feel like it's got to be done now.
Yeah.
I feel like people should only be able to submit their RE Requiem runs with that mod in there, you know, to be honest.
I agree. Or we have a separate leaderboard that's just called like ETNA mode or whatever. Put all. This is like a terrible idea.
It just has it's just the game cover, but instead of Leon's normal hair, he has the Etna hair from like The Incredibles. You know, that really short lady.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Her name is Etna, I think.
That's incredible.
It's Edna.
Dude.
Edna mode. It's EDNA, but you know, your heart's in the
Even
right
though
place.
nobody asked, I don't know, man.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, true.
Even don't.
All right, maybe I need to speedrun this game though. Still,
what,
because
The
somebody added.
or
Requiem, because somebody added
Incredible
Sir Daniel Fortesque as a mod for Leon.
Oh,
They added what?
Somebody added Sir Daniel Fortesque as a mod.
Or
for
Fortescue?
Leon.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, Fortescue. Yeah.
It's Fortescue. I made that
Okay,
mistake
my
when I
bad.
started playing Medieval.
Yeah, Sir Daniel
but-
Fortescue. Yeah,
Sir Dan
somebody added.
as a Leon like costume is awesome. That fucking
that's pretty good. Pretty good.
Now, but only problem is I'm now getting war flashbacks because Medieval is a hard game, and I'm reminded of when I was grinding it.
and speaking of war
understandable.
flashbacks, this is gonna be the end of the podcast.
It's over.
My God,
I don't know.
No.
I don't know where I was going with that one. It sounded better in my head. I'll just be honest, guys. It sounded better in my head. Does anyone
What do
have
we
anything
got
going
going
on?
on?
Anyone?
Yeah, there you go.
Anyone doing shit?
You remembered how this works?
Doing nothing?
Go.
Oh, I've called a
Go for it.
video coming out probably tomorrow or Sunday.
Oh,
Yep. So tune in for that.
How about
I know it
that?
doesn't. This one didn't take me 300,000 years to make. That's great.
Whoa!
Yeah.
No
Whoa.
way!
brother.
But yeah,
Crazy.
so
He narrowed the scope and
Yeah.
could publish a video.
That's sick, bro.
it's so sick, so sick.
we're
So
so
that's
bad.
all I got going on.
For me, it will have transpired already by the time this episode airs, but you can watch the rerun of it or the VOD later. I'm going to be at PAX East this weekend. I'll be
Hell yeah.
showing off Neopets the Darkest Fairy on
yes.
Friday as the day opener, and I think that'll be...
Oh, this keeps getting more exciting.
Oh. I think we should rename that game to Neopets the Whitest Fairy.
Yeah,
Why?
she's pretty white, I guess.
Oh,
So my run will be the 27th of March, which is this
Today.
the date today.
Today.
Yeah.
At 10 a.m. So
It happened 2 hours ago.
If you're listening,
3 hours
it happened
ago.
2 hours ago.
3 hours ago. If you're at this part of the podcast and you watch the full thing like you should have and you hit the like button and the subscribe button, then it's actually 3 hours ago.
Yeah. But
True.
if you're going to PAX East as well, feel free to say hi. I'll probably be hanging around the GDQ base most of the time. But yeah, that's all I got.
Delaware.
I mean, I'm trying to think about how long I'm gonna be still running Requiem for. We'll see how long that lasts. I might just
This too
end
shall
up going
pass.
back. I might just end up going back to Vanquish, dude. Because I don't know, man. It's so
here we
funny that I can optimize movement in a high APM game like Vanquish, and then my movement in Requiem sucks ass, right?
You overthink it because it's so slow.
Yeah,
right?
because it's so slow. But also, whenever I play any third person or first person, if I play any shooter, I'm like, man, I could be playing Vanquish right now, you know. But I won't lie. I've talked about this a little bit. Is that on stream? Is that it is nice to, for a change, run a game people have heard of before. So it's been nice to, because there's been a lot of new people in my
Jaxler would
in
know
my
nothing
chat,
about that.
talking about their experience with the game and being like, oh, hey, this game was really fun and all that fun stuff. So that's been cool. So I might just still run it a little bit longer, but
We should all pick
see.
top tiers,
Maybe
I
I'll-
think. Guys, I'm
Maybe
going to start
I'll-
learning Mario
Like
64. I'm going for that $11,000 bounty since
That's
no one's
my
claiming it. And
That's my go.
surely I'll get it in a week. So I think, these guys have been
Facts.
playing the game for 10 years straight and they can't beat the record.
Yeah.
So I think 1 week, I got it.
Ouija be like,
Mhm.
let me practice
Mhm.
one more time.
The moment you pick up your
Just
controller.
kidding. Just kidding.
Man,
1 hour
dude.
and 2 hours. Let me just stare at a
I've done-
screen and
yeah,
try to
tw-
pirate
hour
settings for
23.
2 hours on my stream.
Maybe one more.
It's just so good. Anyway, goodbye.
Anyway, goodbye forever. Get out of here.
Goo goo ga 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 ga.